All right, now it looks like we just went seamlessly from one recipe to having 2 pots out of here to one. Looks like we just cleaned up.
Yeah.
Well, between the last time you saw us and now, that was 2 days ago, we had a farm emergency. Now, I'm not going to say specifically what it is because we're going to save that for later, but it has something to do with something that goes like this. Meh. It's a long story. Some of you already know what's going on, but we're going to address that in a little bit. But first of all, let's get back to our frying.
Yes.
Now let's remember that we're doing extra virgin olive oil. That being said, I'm reheating my oil here, and it's almost at 300, so I'm gonna start backing off just a little bit because the hottest I want to go here is 325. We talked about things, crossing cultures,
Yes.
all kinds of good stuff. And I'm sure somebody else has done this before, probably. We have corned beef. What's that over there, Mrs. Farmer?
That is egg rolls.
Egg roll wrappers, Swiss cheese, sauerkraut. Corned beef, sauerkraut, Swiss cheese. Is that Thousand Island dressing?
This is my favorite sandwich.
Here's another side note. We bought this corned beef up in Cincinnati at an old established market. You walk through and see all kinds of cool stuff.
It's a while ago.
It was a while ago. You can freeze it. Let's show them how we do that to maintain it being fresh. So we found that this freezes really great.
It did.
By doing what?
All right, we froze this, and what I did, you can use either parchment paper or wax paper. I put it between each sheet, which makes it turn out perfect.
It doesn't freeze together.
No, so look at this.
You have a barrier there.
It's been in there a month, and look at these perfect
And it
pieces.
smells great.
Yes.
And it is actually very fresh tasting. Now, you're wondering if we're using olive oil. You would think there might be a taste. The taste is fantastic. We've tried everything in it. There's no off taste, there's no bitter taste. It tastes wonderful. So from here on out, this is what I'm using. You can do what you want. I'm not a scientist, but this is recommended by the USDA.
All right, 4 pieces here. I love my little old-fashioned chopper.
Old-fashioned
Yeah, I'm
cutter.
just gonna cut this up a little bit. This cuts really well, just so it's a little bit more manageable.
Mom's Chow Chow Chopper.
Yes, I love this. It's good for chopping anything. We're gonna get these more manageable to fit in
And
those.
you don't have to cut this up into tiny pieces. Think about what you would do if you're making a Reuben sandwich. Just chop it up just enough to have it in little segments where you can munch up on it heavily.
Right.
Speaking of ready to go,
Swiss cheese.
all right?
We're just gonna cut these in half and lay those in there. What do you think?
And this is a fascinating little process and a recipe that just absolutely wonderful. Now, sauerkraut, you can have it prepared as much as you want. I like mine with caraway seeds, apples, onions, onions, beer, and my golly, you're about to go.
So we're just building us a Reuben.
So just think 3 layers here. Normally you'd have, some restaurants have huge pieces of bread with that. And you know, it's good with little thin pieces of rye bread as well, is the way I prefer it.
We can eat more.
Until I tried it this way.
I know. Swiss cheese.
Swiss cheese. Now watch how she rolls this. We don't do a complete low carb diet, but we do kind of try to watch our carbs when she's not making apple cake or oatmeal cookies that she knows I can't resist. Sometimes I'll be innocently watching TV, minding my own business. And guess what she does? Do you want some oatmeal cookies?
See, that way I can make me peanut butter. That's a good excuse.
How can I say no? And then
That's
I
right.
eat, what, 60 of them?
Yeah, you could. You eat 60.
Good thing we live on a farm and work. Checking my oil. 325 exactly.
There's 4.
Dropping these in.
Ooh, these are so good.
Now again, that oil looks a little bit darker. It's not burnt. It's not overused. It is simply olive oil. What color are olives?
Green.
Some are.
Ooh, those are good.
And so as these cook, they're going to want to be on one side, and then we'll just continuously move them around, roll them around, because they will want to get stuck on one side. These generally take about 6 minutes at 325 to get good and brown and blister up real good, just like you want them. All right, 325.
Oh my goodness.
Now I'm gonna let these drain a little bit.
Those are beautiful.
Look at that.
Those are beautiful.
325.
What are you gonna call these?
Olive oil.
What are you calling these?
Um,
Reuben rolls? What?
yeah.
I like a Reuben. Oh,
Reuben
these
rolls.
are so good.
Sometimes your genius just shuts me down.
And then other times, it pops out like one time a year.
Okay, let's let those cool, and then we'll come back and we'll professionally sample those.
Good idea.
Can you dig it?
I can.
Are you hungry?
I can't wait.
They have sufficiently cooled. Look at that. That's a little Reuben in there. We got the cheese melted. We've got this sauerkraut that we cooked special.
That's right.
And then we have our corned beef. Go ahead.
I'm dipping it in Thousand Island. Gotta be Thousand Island.
Do you hear the crunch?
I like that better than bread. That's the best Reuben I've ever had. Oh, wow.
Well, something that you don't normally get with a Reuben is a deep fried crunch. So, you know, there's less carbs here if you're thinking about that sort of thing. But let me just tell you, I can eat about 26 of these.
I could too. These are really good.
And, you know, I'm not saying guilt-free here, but olive oil, are you kidding me?
Delicious. Yes, delicious.
So why is the water running?
That's my bottle warmer back there.
So our emergency came in the form of a little guy with eye patches,
Yes.
a mustache, and a goatee.
He's so cute.
His name is Montana Mustache.
That's right.
He is the cutest little thing, but his mother rejected him.
Yeah.
So right after we finish this, we're gonna go outside and talk about all this. What do you call him?
Rueben rolls?
Rueben roll.
Yummy.